Hey everyone! Today I'm making this brown leather plush chair and the side table. You'll get a detailed step-by-step look at the crafting process, including tips and all the mistakes I made along the way. I'll provide measurements and also be testing it with different Barbies so you can adjust it to fit your project. This tutorial is just a starting point. Feel free to tweak the dimensions, fabric, or structure to make it your own. Let's get started. First, let's go over the materials I'm using for this chair. 2 pieces of foam board on the left side, 1 piece of foam board on the right. I'll show you how I cut these pieces later. Next, we need some rectangular foam board pieces. For the wooden dowels, I used 11 in total. Be sure to choose the right diameter for your project. The size I picked is easy to cut but still strong enough for the chair. And here are the rest of the materials. We'll decide the size of the foam board piece for the cushion base after wrapping the main body of the chair. Now, let me show you how I cut the foam board pieces. First, I'm cutting out a circle with a 5.5 inch diameter. Then I'll trim a small section off the edge. Next, I'm cutting a 1 inch wide strip from the circle. When viewed from the side, this strip measures 5.5 inches in length, as the longer side edge of the strip matches the curved edge of the half circle. This is the paper guide we'll be using. I'm making small pits in the foam board using this guide. The foam board on top is just for my convenience. You don't actually need this extra piece. We'll be using the one with the pins. Now I'm gluing the wooden dowels onto the circular foam board. Next, we need to attach the circular strip. Each dowel should fit into the corresponding pit on the strip. I made mistakes here. Some dowels didn't go into the pit. Luckily, it's an easy fix. I just added a little extra glue. This area will not be visible anyway. Now I'm adding the sponge We're going for a slightly cushioned look, which means the sponge should be built up beyond the frame's outline, not just filling the gaps. It needs to be thick enough so that when we press it down with the fabric cover, the surface looks smooth and even. Try to make the sponge as even as possible. Gaps may show through depending on the fabric you use. Also, note that fabric I'm using is fairly thick and stretchy. Time to wrap the chair with fabric. You'll notice I've already wrapped the sides of the armrest, but that was actually a mistake. I want the center fabric to go under the side pieces. It's up to you how you want to wrap yours, but if you want it to look like mine, wrap the center first. Now I'm adding an extra layer of sponge. This will make the back and armrest less curved. I used 3 fabric pieces to cover the back and armrest, but depending on your chair shape and the type of fabric you're using, you may need more pieces to avoid wrinkles. The rounder the shape, the more fabric pieces you will need. Oh, and I should have made the center fabric piece a bit bigger. Now I'm wrapping the center. Keep the final shape and look in mind when wrapping, as it will be determined by how the fabric is applied. Adjust the fabric tension carefully and be mindful of how you glue it to the frame. Those details will shape the final result. Time to wrap the sides. This part can be a bit tricky, so watch closely how I do it. I'm using a relatively thick and flexible leather fabric. If you're using a different type of fabric, you may need to adjust how you wrap it. I'm using super glue for a smooth, clean look. I apply the glue with a toothpick, using only a tiny amount at a time. Super glue is really strong and cures almost instantly, so it's best to work little by little. Now let's move on to the bottom part. I won't explain much here since it's pretty straightforward. Oh, and I made another mistake. I'm adding more sponge before moving on to the back cover. I'll be using super glue again here. Finally, let's work on the cushion. The cushion size will depend on the space left on your chair, so I won't give exact measurements. You'll need to adjust it to fit your build. And it's done! It's so cute! Now, let's make the side table. I won't go into too much detail. You can follow along just by watching. First, I'm cutting out a 3.5-inch diameter circle and then slicing it in half. Next, I'm making a paper guide to mark where the wooden dowels will go. For the bottom piece, I'm avoiding hot glue when attaching the dowels. I'm cutting paper strips here and wrapping them in marble contact paper. I also cut extra pieces to cover the top and bottom surfaces where they'll be visible. Now I'm painting the wooden dowels with metallic gold acrylic paint, but I'm keeping it light since I don't want a perfectly uniform finish. Once the paint is dry, I'm attaching the contact paper pieces to the table. it's done. I made a lot of mistakes, but it doesn't look too bad. Now, it's time to test the chair with Barbies. I'm going for a French chic vibe with this setup. These beige chair and sofa are from my past experiments, definitely a result of trial and error. A velvet fabric as a carpet, a little basket I found at the dollar store. What do you think? I hope you like this space. Here's the cupboard I made during my kitchen crafting. It has a pretty rough finish. Okay, first up, Yoga Barbie. I gave her a makeover a few days ago, and today she's dressed chic and sexy. She looks so relaxed on the chair. It really suits her stylish side. Next is Lavender Mermaid Barbie. She's in a cute pink pajama dress, looking like a little kid. Seeing her with a chair like this, I feel like it could also work in a fun, playful space, not just a modern French chic room. Maybe try a bright color fabric like yellow or pink for a totally different look. Next is TNT Body Barbie. If you watch my Barbie's Life Unfiltered series, you probably already know her. I didn't bend her legs at all. Let's try bending them a bit. That looks much more natural. Next up, Curvy Barbie. The chair size looks okay. Maybe you can make it a bit bigger for Curvy Barbies. Then we have Articulated Ken. Maybe it's this outfit, but he looks so comfortable. Let's have him lean back. This pose looks like he just got home from a long day at work. Now let's try some funny poses. It's totally possible for dolls to sit on the backrest or armrest too. Next is Non-Articulated Ken, our June from Barbie's Life Unfiltered. I haven't changed his outfit since the last episode. Without sunglasses, he looks so serious. I have to say, the chair doesn't look too comfy for non-articulated dolls. Now, let's try petite articulated Barbie. Seeing her on the chair, I feel like maybe making it a bit bigger would have been even better. Next is Looks 23 Barbie. She's currently my main model for crafting videos, and the chair looks great with her on it. If I do this, the chair becomes a two-seater. That's it for today's project. I had so much fun making the plush chair and the side table. And even though I made plenty of mistakes along the way, I love how they turned out. I hope this tutorial inspires you to create your own version. Feel free to adjust the dimensions, fabric, or colors to match your style. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you decide to make one, I'd love to see it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!